All right, quickly, this is how to do a PC with your people. All right, and this every Mondays there'll be a handout here for the reps. But so you start off the PC. You talk about just simple stuff. Hey, sit down, great. So how's your week? How's your week going? They're always going to start talking about vector. Okay, go. Oh, well, forget about vector. Like how's school? How's life? How's your girlfriend, boyfriend? Whatever. Okay, how's family? How's mom doing? Good. Okay, great. All right. So so you let them talk a little bit about outside, so you can kind of figure out, one, it just kind of breaks the ice a little bit, and also you could see any, one of your finals. This is a question you can ask them. So how are you doing with your homework? How are your grades? All that kind of stuff. Okay. So so you can see if there's any stress going on in their life. Okay. So then, all right. So then the next question. So how do you feel things are going in vector? Good, bad. Whatever. Oh, things are going good. All right. Well, why do you think that is? If they're like, well, things ain't going too good, I go, all right, great. Well, why do you think that is? All right. So, and you let them talk. Oh, well, I don't have anybody to see, or I'm not making as much money as I want, or my parents are on my case. Okay. So let them vent out some of their anxieties. Okay. So, all right. So so they let them, they do their verbal vomit for a little bit, or they say, hey, things are going great. I just had $2,000 week. All right, great. How do you feel about that? I feel pretty good. Okay. So so what do we want to happen this week? Now, if it's a positive thing, you say, okay, well, what's now? Here's the thing: anybody can be a one-hit wonder. Okay. What do you think is the goal this week? Or if they're positive, hey, I just had my first $1,000 week. Great. Okay. So let's talk about maybe expand your comfort zone. What do you think about a $2,000 week? How if you're fired about a $1,000 week? How about a $2,000 week? Or how about this? How about getting on the national newsletter? Or how about being on the divisional? The top 25 in the division, or how about hitting President's Club? All right, these are all things you can talk about with someone who's doing well, mid to high flyer. All right, if they're complaining, hey, I didn't have any sales. I'm only at $100 for the week. I don't have people to see. Okay, so the question is, well, how are we going to change that? Give me some ideas. Okay, let them come up with some ideas. So what do you want? What do you want to see this week? What's your objective for this week? What do you want your paycheck to be? All right, so last week, let's look at your last week's paycheck. Last week's paycheck was $58. How do you feel about that? Okay, don't be afraid to have a difficult conversation with them. That's kind of sucked. Okay, well, great. So, well, what would be a good paycheck for you? What kind of check do you want to get this week? All right, what would you be happy with? All right, well, $5,000. Okay, well, here's the thing. You're not going to go from $54 to $5,000, Johnny. So obviously you could live off $54. You haven't quit yet. So let's say, what if we can get that check to $100 or $150 or $200? How about a $200 check? How would that make you feel? Oh man, great. Okay, great. So let's work on that. Okay. So do you have time? So here's the thing. So if you're going to go for a $200 paycheck, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to getting that? Anything less than a 10, I say why not a 10? Okay, so a commitment level of 8 is what got you a $50 paycheck. All right, so if you're not committed to doing it, Johnny, then there's no reason for us to even continue this conversation. How about this? Well, is $200 too much? Or you're not going to have time? Should we lower the number? Is that going to be too much for you? Do you not know how to spend $200? Okay, so their commitment needs to be at a 10. Okay, so well, I got finals. I don't know. I got a lot of studying to do. Okay, so here's the thing, John. How many hours are you going to study this week? I don't know. Okay, well, give me a number. 30 hours? Are you going to study for 30 hours? Maybe. Okay, how about 50? No, probably not. All right, well, John, there's 168 hours in the week, okay? If you sleep 8 hours a day, if you sleep 9 hours a day, 9 times 7 is 63. So that still gives you 100, that's 9 hours of sleep. That means you go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up at 11, okay, in the afternoon. So, is that right? No. You go bed at, no, yeah, you go 2 in the morning, not 11 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, so so John, you're talking about a lot of sleep there, and eating and everything. So if you do 30 hours, so that gives you 105 hours. If you do 30 hours of study, that gives you 70. That gives you 75 hours of time. Okay. Now, if you go to class and everything like that, let's say class and everything takes you another 30 hours. It still gives you 45 hours, John. So even if you take 20 hours to do nothing, to just do study, to do other stuff, eating and traveling and hanging out with your friends, that still gives you the 20 hours to work. Okay, so it's not a matter of time, John. That's 30 hours of studying. That's 5 straight hours, 6 days a week. Okay, that's sitting down studying your book. All right, so I'm pretty sure if you study for 5 hours, 6 days, or 6 hours, 5 days, you'd probably be doing better in your classes. Is that correct? All right, so we'll put that in your schedule. But the point is, let's talk about, I want to help you with school too, but let's make sure that you're on the path. So is this, so 20 hours a week, are you committed to that? Do you feel you could do that? Yes, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 10. All right, so okay, so don't waste my time here. All right, so now in order for you to make a $200 paycheck, all right, that means you're going to have to do, with averages, it's going to take you 12 appointments. Okay, so 12 appointments will get you about a $200 paycheck. Why, John? Because if you do 12 appointments, you should be getting 8 sales. I mean, that's the number you should be at. 12 appointments, 8 sales. 12 appointments, 8 sales, and average of $250 in order. That gets you to 2,000 for the week. That's a minimum of 200. And what percentage you at? So we're talking about 12 appointments. Okay. By the way, 100, just so you can write this down for yourself, $100 is 6 appointments. Okay, which means they need to have 10 openings in their schedule. Okay, $200 is 12 appointments. And means they have to have 20 openings in their schedule, and $300 should be about 20 appointments, 300 or more, 20 appointments, 30 openings in their schedule. Okay, that's the numbers. Okay, so and I would even say less than that, probably 18 appointments, 26 openings. Okay, so that's someone who's really strict part-time, and then if they're going to do full-time, they're going to do more appointments, then great, you're talking about high flyer. All right, so John, so even if we're doing $100, guys, okay, so even if they're doing $100, 6 appointments, all right, so 6 appointments, John, should get you 4 sales, average $250, and even if you're at 10%, that should be $100 in your check. Okay, so that's where we got to get your skill level. So let's first focus on, we'll focus on your skill level in a minute. Let's focus on your schedule. So let's take out a schedule. Take out a schedule, okay? And now here's the thing. If you're going to do, we'll stick with 200. If you're going to do 12 appointments, that means you need to have 20 openings in your schedule. So we need to put 20 A's in your schedule. So first, let's put in what you have to do. Where's school? Okay, so write in all your school. All right. Now next week, John, I want you to come with a schedule already done and ready, with your school and everything else. So school, when are you going to do your studying, John? Okay. By the way, just keep giving them stuff to do. When are you going to do your studying? When are you going to eat? Okay. Put some eating time in there. All right. What about traveling to and from school? All right. Yeah. So put an extra hour on the top and an hour on the bottom. So let's put that in there. What else you got to do, John? Okay. You got to babysit your little brother. Let's put that in your schedule. All right. When are you doing that? Okay. So this day and this day. What else you got to do? Nothing? What else? I mean, you gotta be something. You're gonna do shopping? What are you gonna hang out with your friends this week? What are you gonna do? Okay, so great. So let's put that in the schedule. All right, so now we got everything in your schedule. Okay, so that's all there. Now, next thing we gotta do is we gotta put in, we said we're going for 12 appointments, so we gotta put in 20 openings. All right, so let's find 20 A's on this schedule. All right, so tomorrow, so you've got all the stuff you're gonna do, so let's just put in A's anywhere that's still open. Okay, so let's circle these. So let's see, Tuesday you could do 3. Wednesday you could do 3, Thursday you could do 4, okay, Friday it seems like you can't do any work, Saturday you can do 7, and Sunday you can do 4, okay, and then what about next Monday? You could do 2 there, okay, so, alright, so we got definitely 20 openings, now we got to fill in 12 of those openings, that's the next thing. Alright, so we got the openings, we got your schedule, now the next thing we got to do is we got to put in your phone time. Okay, so let's put in your phone time. Now the thing is, Johnny, if you're gonna get 12 appointments, you need to make 120 phone calls. All right, so 120 phone calls. Now that means, so how many phone calls do you feel comfortable making in one sitting? Now again, that's not calling 120 different people, and honestly, you might not have that many people to call right now, but as you go through the week, you're gonna get more and more people to call. All right, so so let's see. The general rule of thumb is it takes so 120 phone calls. So how many? So you want to make 20? You should when you're doing phone time, you should either make 20 or 30 phone calls every time. Every time you do phone time. All right. So we can do 6. We can do 6 shots of 20, or we can do